morning, dear student. Welcome in online classes of Buddha International School. Your teacher here with you with a new topic, that is powers and function of the governor. In last lecture, we have discussed about the governor, his appointments, qualification, tenure, and the salary of the governor of a state. These all the things we have discussed already. Today in this lecture we are going to discuss about the power and function of the governor, that what are the powers and what are the different functions of a governor, that especially governor can use those power in a state. So see my dear student, first of all we are going to discuss that what are the different kinds of powers. So mainly we can say executive power, legislative, financial power, discretionary power. These all powers are there, they are the power of a governor. Okay, so first of all we are going to discuss about the executive power. To be the head of the state, these are the different kind of executive powers with the governor of a state. Like number one, all the executive functions of the state are carried out in the name of the governor. Executive functions means related to execution of a law. You all know very well, legislator is going to make a law, and after that whatever the law that is formed by the legislator, by the legislative, it's required the proper execution of that law, and the proper execution is there, that is done and carried by the name of the governor only. If the governor is not going to execute properly, then it's not going to be implement properly in a state. You see my dear student, that all the executive functions of the state are there, they are carried out in the name of the governor. Okay, so by the name of the governor only these powers are going to carried out, otherwise not. Especially which one? Executive power. Number two, the chief minister of the state is appointed by the governor of the state. Same like that the prime minister is appointed by the president. In the state, my dear student, chief minister is appointed by the governor. How you know? Well, that when the legislative assembly election is there, the party which is having the majority, the leader of the party that is in majority will be called by the governor to form the government, and after then that the leader appointed as the chief minister by the governor only. Number two, he appoints the council of minister in consultation with the chief minister of the state, to whom we should appoint as the minister. These all the things the governor first will decide with the chief minister. Okay, so the chief minister, with the consultation with the chief minister, the governor is going to appoint the different council of minister. Next, all the important appointments like those of advocate general, chairman, and the members of the state public service commission. Okay, and all these appointments are there by they are also done by the governor. So simply we can say that the different kind of appointments are there in the state. Especially the important appointments we can call just like the advocate general, chairman, members of the state public service commission. They are also appointed by the governor. So you see my dear student, that how different kinds of powers are there with the governor, that he can appoint the chief minister on advice, by just calling the leader of the majority party, and all the executive functions are also carried by his name. And then the special appointments are also done by the governor in the state. Next, these all are the executive power of the governor. Next, my dear student, that is legislative powers related to lawmaking. We can call that how the governor going to use his power, especially in lawmaking process. Number one, the governor of the state convenes the first session. The first session of the legislative assembly convenes by the governor only. Next, on the advice of the chief minister of the state, the governor can dissolve the legislative assembly of the state. That if in legislative assembly the members are not able to prove their majority, so on advice of chief minister, the governor have the power to dissolve that legislative assembly. Means Vidhan Sabha can be also dismissed by the governor. In the state, if has bicameral legislature, means both Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad is there, then the governor can call the joint meeting of both the houses of the state legislature. Or some issues, just like the about bill we have discussed, that if there is a kind of issue and conflict is there over a bill, then for the discussion the governor has the power to call both the houses of the state legislature at a time. Means Vidhan Parishad and Vidhan Sabha can be called for the joint session by the governor for discussion. That's power is also with the governor only. In case, my dear student, if state legislature is not in session, then the governor may promulgate an ordinance to meet the situation. If any urgent situation occur, any urgency is there in that situation, if his governor want to pass any bill and the state legislature is not in session, in that situation governor can issue an ordinance also. That ordinance is also going to work just like an act. Even the state legislature is not in session, in that situation, in that urgency also, my dear student, governor can use this power. And every bill passed by the state legislature is sent for the governor. Already we have discussed in second last lecture that the law is the bill is going to become law then only after the assent of the governor. Till the governor is not going to do the sign, his signature is not there of the governor, the bill is a kind of simple ordinary document only, not any law. So simply we can say that power is there, that any kind of bill is there that is going to become a law after the assent of the governor only. Then governor can appoint special members to the Vidhan Parishad who have special knowledge or practical experience in matter such as literature, science and social services. So the members, 2/3 member of legislative council is appointed by the governor, you know well, but those special members in terms of literature having the special kind of quality, maybe they are having the good knowledge of social, they are good at social service, having the contributed in science even, and they are good at art and culture. That kind of people are there, they can be easily nominated by him as the member of legislative council. So these all are the legislative power of a governor, my dear student. Next, third one, financial power. Financial power means related to money, related to finance. He makes some sure that the annual budget to be led before the Vidhan Sabha. You know well that the money bill can be led first in the Vidhan Sabha only, means in legislative assembly we can pass directly the money bill, and who is going to make sure that money bill can be easily passed, easily laid down before the Vidhan Sabha? By the governor only. And no money bill introduced without the permission of the governor. That's very important thing. But whatever the annual budget of the state government is there, we can call in another word money bill, that bill introduced in Vidhan Sabha after the approval, after the permission of the governor only. Without permission, no money bill can be introduced in Vidhan Sabha. These all are the executive, legislative, financial power we have discussed. Now next are the powers are there for the governor. They are the discretionary power. Okay, so you see here, my dear student, about the discretionary powers. So in discretionary power, my dear student, you see, first of all you should know what kind of powers are known as discretionary powers. See, the governor has certain discretionary powers which he can use without the advice of council of ministers. You know well, just like the president have so many powers, but he also require the help and support. Means with the help of council of minister and prime minister only he can use his own powers, otherwise not. The same thing is there with the governor also, that so many powers are there, but the governor also have to take first the permission from the council of ministers, including headed by chief minister. But some powers are there where the governor of the state doesn't require any kind of advice and suggestion of council of minister as well as of chief minister. That kind of powers are known as a discretionary power. So here we are going to know that what kind of powers are there where a governor don't want any kind of suggestion, any kind of advice of council of minister and chief minister. Number one, my dear student, that if no party is able to win the majority of seats in legislative assembly, means if in Vidhan Sabha no party is there which is having the majority. For example, suppose Congress is there, BJP is there, some other parties are also there, but not a single party is having majority. And even you know well that the party which is having the majority, that leader will be called by the governor to form the government. But in case suppose all the parties are there, they are not able to gain the 50% of the total Vidhan Sabha seat. In that situation, what kind of steps will be taken by the governor? So you see, my dear student, in that situation, the governor can appoint a person as chief minister who can get the support of the majority of members of the legislative assembly as established by a state government. So in that situation, if a member is having the full support of the member of legislative assembly, that assembly established by the state government, so that member can be appointed by the governor as a chief minister. Why? Because no political party is there that is having majority, but a single person is having the full support of the member of legislative assembly that is established by the state government. That person can be appointed as a chief minister by the governor. Next, my dear student, in this way, you see here it doesn't require any kind of advice of council of minister, and he is not going to ask with anyone in this matter. Number 2, if the government not satisfied with the government affairs according to the constitution, then the governor can request the president to declare an emergency in the state or president rule in the state. You have seen before 1 month and 2 months ago that what kind of situation was there in Rajasthan, that no government was stable. There is a kind of dispute and conflict occur between chief minister as well as the deputy chief minister also, and so many members of legislative assemblies are there. They are ready to give the resignation. In that situation, my dear student, the situation was same like in Rajasthan, that the governor is about to call the emergency, but it's God grace that somehow we have no need to we didn't face the emergency. But you see, my dear student, that power is also there with the governor, that if governor is not satisfied with the government which is administrating or state, okay, so in that situation governor can request to the president to declare the emergency in the state, and then after the president rule is applicable in that particular state on advice of the governor. If governor feels so that yes, now this state government is not able to run the constitutional machinery properly in the particular state, so this power is also there with the governor, and in this way governor don't require any kind of help and support of council of ministers. Third, my dear student, he can become a real ruler of the state during the emergency in the state. So when there is a state emergency, a president rule is there. At that time, no other ruler is there. Means chief minister and council of minister, nothing in their hand. Simply we can say all the powers are vested at the time with the governor only. And in that situation, he is going to play a vital role as a real ruler of the state, especially in the state emergency. Next, he can seek any information from the government about the working of various administrative departments. So different kind of administrative departments are there. Whenever the governor will show that yes, I should collect the information that how they are working, what kind of methods they are using, what they are doing for the betterment. So these all information, whenever he wish, he can collect from the administrative department of the state government. This power is also there with the governor, and governor doesn't want any kind of suggestion and advice in this matter. The governor has the power. The governor has the power to grant pardons or sentence of a person convicted of any offence against any law relating to the executive power of the state. Same thing is there, that whatever the kind of any civil punishment that's given to a criminal, and in that situation the government feels so that somewhere that person is somewhere changed and now he wanna start a new life. So in that situation he have the power to pardon him or her. That power is also with the governor of the state, we can say, and he can send back to the bill passed by the state legislator for reconsideration. As you know how a bill become law, by passing both the houses. In that situation, even both the houses are agreements. Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad, they have given their kind of agreement, means that they are agreed towards the bill. But somewhere governor feels so that yes, as per the governor, the bill is not proper. In that situation, for reconsideration, again the bill can be sent back by the governor to the state legislator for the reconsideration, where again both the houses are going to look, and after then the final approval will be there by the governor. He can reserve certain bills for the final approval for the president also. So some bills are there, they are where he wanna discuss with the president. okay, that I should pass those bill or not. So in that situation, some bill can be reserved by the governor of the state for the discussion, that he want to discuss first with the president, after then he will send his permission over the particular bill. So the some bills can be reserved by him. So these are, my dear students, some discretionary power where a governor don't want any kind of advice, we can say, doesn't want any advice and any suggestion from Council of Minister as well as from the Chief Minister. He can use these powers by as per the situation, what the situation is going on in the state, and as per his own wish, that yes, being a real ruler of the state, that what should I do in such a situation. So these are discretionary power. I hope you understood. Now you see, my dear student, position of the governor. Here we want to discuss the position of a governor in a state is just like the position of a president in a country is there. You know well that there are so many numerous power are there with the president of a country, but president cannot use those powers with his own wish. First, the president have to take the advice, has to take the advice from Council of Ministers as well as from Prime Minister. Then only he can use. Same with the governor of the state are there, my dear student. So many powers are there. He is not only the nominal head of the state. He is beyond that even. So many powers are there, but the governor of the state can use those powers by the advice and suggestion of the Council of Ministers as well as by the Chief Minister only. So simply we can say that really he is considered as the head of the state, but he is the nominal head of the state. Why? Because he have so many powers, but even whatever the powers are there with the governor, first the governor have to take the permission from the Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers, then only the governor can use the powers, otherwise not. Number two, my dear student, the governor have to ready to choose an alternatives also, that if in case the Council of Ministers are there, they are against the governor and they want to resign because if they are not satisfied with the working style of the governor, in that situation for the next ministry the governor have to find an alternatives also. Why? Because if the council members are going to resign, then the alternate is there with the governor, that he should decide the alternate to run the system properly. That's also why, because all the Council of Ministers are there, they are accountable towards legislative assembly, not to the governor. That's why the governor should be very we can say attentive and should be alert at the time that how and in which way the Council of Ministers are working, and he should gain the full support and full help and advice, suggestion. Okay, the role of the governor is also really very important. We can say his role is there that he can increase the Council of Ministers. His role is there to motivate them. He is also playing a very just like a link between the central and state government. Why? Because whatever the state issues are there, the governor can only convey all the state issues with the central government. Okay, Chief Minister cannot talk directly, cannot convey directly with the central government. So simply we can say that the governor is just like a link between the state government and the central government. So this is all about the governor, in which we have discussed about the all powers and functions of the governor, legislative powers, executive powers. Then after some financial powers are there, and here the discretionary powers we have discussed, where he doesn't require any kind of advice and suggestion to use those powers to be a nominal head, and we can say the head of the state. So simply I want to say at last that here we know that well, that just like the president is the formal head of the country is there, the same, my dear student, that the governor is not only the kind of nominal head of a state, but he is more than the nominal head of the state. Why? Because so many responsibilities are there on the shoulder of a governor of a state. So whatever we have discussed through this lecture, I hope you understood very nicely. Even any doubt and queries there, you can discuss with me. Thank you. Have a nice day.